The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté radio station. This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.
All the hits lives here.
All you need to do is pray. You gotta pray. I got a message you've been stressing a week. We only listen when the pastor preach. Take me back to in the beginning. The word was God, and the word still remains as God. Take me back to oh my Lord, oh my God, oh my Lord. Dear God, I know that I'm a child of yours. I admit it to my father, I'm a son of yours. So many things in my life that I've been through. Jealousy, I know the devil's trying to be you. Family matters, but there's a lot of issues. The devil got tricks, but God is living in you. You gotta believe, you gotta have faith. I never used to believe, my heart was full of hate. Things change for the better, my life full of chapters. My past is a book that's closed forever. There's nothing you can do to me. Despite all the challenges I face, God has been good to me. I got a message you've been stressing a week. We only listen when the pastor preach. Take me back to in the beginning, the word was God, and the word still remains as God. Take me back to oh my Lord, oh my God, oh my Lord. Hey, hey.
That was Jericho right there with his hit song Church. Moro.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome to the morning. Angwas. Good morning and welcome to the morning mix. Morning, guys.
It is Tuesday,
Ne?
the 8th of March.
It's Tuesday.
That's very far away, Mitch.
Hey, I'm speaking things into existence. Don't play.
Is your mic on, Mitch?
Yeah, the mic is on. It's not the mic.
Oh, yeah. Let me say a quick good morning. Mutatio Karstens, good morning. Moro, Sylvia Wakumbwa, Sebi Ujana, Kapitako, morning. Floren Hansen, Sylvia Wakumbwa, I Oningo.
Is it Women's Day today?
Oningo.
Wow.
The people are asking, who is that sitting there?
It's a very mysterious woman.
Yeah. Floren Hansen. So right, Floren says no an. Okay. Ephraim, Moro. Natalie, good morning. Mutatio Karsten. A shout out to all the women. Ladies, you are great. Invite me over for a speech to any come together that you might be organizing. This is what Mutatio Carstens is saying. Mohau Sibolit To all the beautiful women, happy International Women's Day. Morakeni,
Yes.
Jagan Kesep, morning, everybody.
Is it Mavutu Day?
Ja, dit is alles. We celebrate all women.
Yeah.
Okay.
All women are celebrated.
Yeah, it's Women's Day.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys going to say something to me?
Yeah,
well
we
done.
will.
Congratulations on Women's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yesterday
Are you
was-
guys just going to say...
Yesterday was Men's Day, but we all forgot.
Was
Was
just-
it?
Google says Women's Day is Saturday, the 10th of December, 2022.
Okay, but in Namibian context, that's Human Rights Day for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
so it's changed it?
yeah. So is that international?
I just typed in Women's Day in Google.
And it
it's
gave you the
Saturday,
10th.
the 10th of December.
Okay. So why are women? Sorry, Zoe. Why are you people claiming today is Women's Day? How many Women's Days do you want?
As many as we can get. actually.
Grrr. Zoe, first and foremost, you are our guest today.
Yes. Thank you for welcoming me onto the show, guys.
It's nice to
Yeah.
have you.
I always see you guys on the air, and I'm like, I wonder how it will feel like to be on the air.
Yeah. Zoe is one of our. Hey, why am I supposed to be
So
introducing you?
Yeah.
Talk for yourself.
Well,
Zoe, please introduce yourself and in the capacity that you obviously
yeah.
here at Trasco.
I am a journalist here at the Informanté. Yeah,
And for how long? How long have you been a journalist?
I've been here for like 5 years, but I've been a journalist for around 6 years, I think. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And journalism is your passion?
It is great, you know. Sometimes you speak to very influential people. Sometimes you speak to people that are very humble and, you know,
Koffie?
like on the very outskirts of
Sak
society.
bietjie daai
So-
mic want ek dink die mense sien vir Zoe nie.
Okay.
And so then you speak to influential people like all over.
Yeah, it's great.
And what's your when it comes to journalism, is there a specific topic that is close to your heart? Is it politics? Is it social stuff that you do write
Sports.
about? Sports.
No.
So he's a
No.
sports
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I don't. I like playing sports, but I don't really like watching and reporting about sports.
Is it?
But I would say I'm more close to GBV, rape, human rights, a bit of business reporting. What else?
Politics?
And arts. Politics. I just feel like politics sometimes is just people saying things and then saying it back to each other and then saying it again. I feel like it's
Yeah.
it just nah.
But there's no way that we can operate. I mean, me, myself, and I also don't like politics, but I follow it just to stay abreast of.
Yeah, and it does
of
also
everything.
actually. It is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just feels like a little vicious cycle.
Yeah, I guess
of-
each one of us have our own kind of lines
That's
that we're
sure.
interested in. Like, for example, sport. Yeah, sport for me as well.
Yeah, I know
But
for
if
you.
I don't watch the game, it's okay. Too,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Politics, I'm not at all lined up with politics.
Oh, we love it when white people are not interested in
I
politics.
know, but we are not with the ruling party.
It's fine. You're not supposed to be with
That
the ruling
much we
party.
know.
Yeah, but you must be passionate about politics.
Yes, that's what I am.
And it's important. It's important that Kofi, you who are have a vested interest in politics, you need to rally all Lanis out there. Rally them. They must become part and parcel of politics.
And what if they
Mitch-
start their own party?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
There's
You've got to
nothing
be in
wrong
it
with
to
it.
be part of it.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest? That I walk from town to town?
Kom ons
Like-
begin ons party.
Like Itula.
Dr. Artik. I want to have a sound knowledge of everything.
Nee?
Everything I can touch on. Just a sound knowledge, just the basics even. And just probably just to know the know-how is important to me. So I would like to touch on everything. Sports not so much also to me, but everything else like entertainment, politics, and so on. I would like to have a whole sound knowledge of everything. I can
And we all learn every day. I guess that's what it's about. But we don't know. I don't know everything about politics.
Yeah.
I don't. I just need to know what's going on, but I don't want to live my life through politics.
Know who are making the decisions
Hello.
for me. That's all I want to know.
Hello.
And are these decisions going to benefit me?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. I want to know.
I think for the past 2 to 3 weeks, we've all become international political professionals, isn't it? Did you know that Putin has now made a list of countries?
Excuse me.
A list
Yes,
of countries?
Vladimir Putin has now brought out a list of countries that are not standing with Russia. And a list of countries that
Coffee, are we
remain
on that
neutral.
Are we on the list?
We are not featuring on the
Okay,
list that
okay.
are not with Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it
going
involves
to
like Scandinavian, all the NATO countries, of course, and then America and Canada,
Oh, wow.
Japan. And
But is there something wrong with what he's doing by making a list?
he's gone now worldwide and said,
dear.
you are not with me, therefore I'm against you.
Oh,
It's typical what these war people do. They say, a friend of my enemy. No, what?
The enemy
Of my what's
the
that?
enemy of my
My
enemy is my friend. Yeah.
That's effectively.
Yeah. I believe it's
Enemy of my enemy is my.
friend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely,
You gotta do
definitely.
that.
But
But
it's-
it's like man, money give out funny. You vloog gelos wat, né? That guy that was left by the teacher, and the teacher says, "Skryf almal se name af van
Ja.
ras."
Yeah.
Putin is bezig met die stories.
Ja,
Okay, om eens.
I think he's just making a list of all the countries where to drop the atom bombs.
Yes. But it's the same thing that George Bush it's
mean,
the
we
same
would
thing that
all
George
be-
Bush did.
We would all be screwed if the atomic weapons would be used, no
Oh,
matter
yes.
in which country.
And,
it
and,
is
and not
anyway.
because of the explosion necessarily.
Yeah.
It's because of the winter fallout. We're all going to freeze to death.
Yeah, we're gonna freeze to death. But George Bush, with the last Iraq war, he said exactly the same thing, and he said he went on stage and he said, if you're not with us, you are against us, and we know who you are. If you're not with us, you're against us. So
I think-
America did it. There's nothing wrong if Russia does it. You need to know who your enemies are. Finish and clap.
All I'm saying is like, don't you think that Putin is like playing this psychological warfare with America? Like, I'm gonna do everything from your war playbook.
Yeah.
And see if the world will accept it the same way they accept it.
Hello.
When I do it.
Hello.
He's been doing that the whole
Hello.
time.
Hello. Hello.
Oh my god, man. I'm just
Hello.
saying that. I'm like, he's been doing that the whole time.
Hello. Coffee?
Yes. This is Informanté Live, and these are our top stories. Russia's government on Monday approved a list of foreign states and territories that commit unfriendly actions against Russia, its companies and citizens, according to TASS, a major Russian state-owned news agency. The list includes the United States and Canada, the EU states, the UK, including Jersey, Anguilla, the British Virgin Islands, and Gibraltar, the Ukraine, Montenegro, Switzerland, Albania, Andorra, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Monaco, Norway, San Marino, North Macedonia, and also Japan, South Korea, Australia, Micronesia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Taiwan, considered a territory of China but ruled by its own administration since 1949. The countries and territories mentioned in the list imposed or joined the sanctions against Russia after the start of a special military operation of the Russian armed forces in Ukraine, TASS reported. Russian journalists covering Russia's war against Ukraine may not use certain words such as war, invasion, and attack, according to Roskomnadzor, the Russian government's media watchdog agency. Those who spread false information, according to the Kremlin, are also liable to prosecution. This includes stating that the Russian army is attacking civilian targets in the Ukraine. TASS published an interview Reuters had with Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, who stated Russia is demanding that Ukraine halt its military activity, enshrine neutrality in its constitution, acknowledge Crimea as Russian territory, and recognize independence of the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republic. Also that Russia is ready to halt its military operation in any moment if Kiev meets its demands. The community of the Omosati region is again advised to caution children against playing near open water pans and oshonas, as 3 children drowned merely 3 days after a mother and her 2 children suffered the same fate. 3 children, all from Angola, drowned in an earth dam on Sunday while catching fish at Ombafi Lake in the Ungongos constituency. According to the Omosati Police Commander, Commissioner Titus Shikongo, the incident occurred around 1800 hours. The bodies were retrieved from the water on Monday. And finally, the Namibia police in the 4 northern regions of Omosati, Oshana, Ongwena and Oshikoto are doing whatever they can to prevent and root out fuel smuggling, having arrested several smugglers and confiscated their fuel for the past few years. However, the smuggling of fuel from Angola goes undebated. That is because of the profit involved and because it is practically impossible to completely seal off illegal entry points along the 400-kilometer long land border that stretches from Kunene River at Ruakana to the Kavango River at Katwitwi. These smugglers buy fuel at Santa Clara across the border from Oshikango, where pump prices currently stand at 160 Angolan kwanza per litre, the equivalent of $4 Namibian dollars and 94 cents. After a complicated clandestine operation, possibly involving bribing some Angolan border guards, and once on Namibian soil, the smugglers resell the precious liquid in bulk using 5-litre and 25-litre containers. The 5-litre container costs 50 Namibia dollars compared to more than 80 Namibia dollars at a Namibian filling station. The 25-litre container goes for 250 Namibia dollars compared to slightly above 400 Namibia dollars at a Namibian filling station. Your Trustco share price today, the 8th of March, is at 1 Namibia dollars and 30 cents per share. Including a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 40 cents, against the euro at 16 Namibia dollars and 70 cents, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 20 cents. This is Informanté Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na. And then again, it's competition time on Informanté Live. We have the 4-week Easter competition. This week, you stand a chance to win a voucher to the value of 1,500 Namibian dollars for accommodation at the Mole Guest House in Swakopmund. All you have to do is hashtag the Mole Guest House in the comments section of the competition post on our Informanté Live Facebook page. This week's competition ends on Friday the 11th, and winners will be announced on social media.
Cool.
Cool.
When is any idea when the winner will be announced?
I guess probably by next week, early next week.
Early next week.
Yes.
When is Easter, Uga?
Easter is on the 17th of April, which is really crappy because it's like in the middle of the month and nobody has money to go anywhere.
Jesus needs to make up his mind. Okay?
Yeah.
No, it's wrong what Jesus is doing.
It's wrong.
Jesus needs to go to heaven by the 25th of April.
On payday.
Yes, on payday.
But at least his birthday is on the 25th
On the 20th.
of December, so he's making up for the Easter.
Ons het klaar, we getting paid by the 20th of December, sowieso. Dat is die geld klaar by the 25th. Jurgen Gaiseb says, Happy International Women's Day and Trans Women Day. Trans women are also women. Now, so, Jurgen, jy begin die fight eerste, okay? We didn't ask you for your comments on the show,
Never
okay?
have to tell you what was happening on the internet.
Nee, maar wacht eers. Jurgen comes here now. He just throws a curveball here, okay? And which obviously and wag, ons sal nou daaroor praat. Laat ek net gou net almal se comments net gou lees. But I'm keeping that one. What's your specialty regarding speech, says Moao Siboli.
Regarding what? Pardon?
What's your specialty regarding speech?
Speech.
This is what Moao Siboli is saying or asking. Simon Tulonga, Mitch, you can't be just in the phone. Say hi to the lady, please. Eye contact.
I make him shy.
Penda Nali says, must be the earliest guest ever. Kuma. No, Penda. Zoe is not a guest. She's a colleague.
I work here, so I have to come here on time. You
Yeah.
know? The other guest can be late, but not me. They'll fire me.
Mohausi Boli says, International Women's Day is today. Namibian Women's Day, Human Rights Day is December 10th. So ho nungwari hanakam. Jagan Kaiseb Kaufi is so groot, mens sien nie vir Zoe nie. Trini says, life is politics. We are politics and we politic every day. The perception we have of politics need a rethink, and no wonder we find ourselves where we are on the continent in comparisons to those who are politically conscious. I so much agree with you, Trini.
Very true.
Sylvia says, ek sien Floren is ook op die stream. Hey, watter Floren van praat jy, Sylvia?
Thomas.
Natalie say, but why is Zoe on the stream today? Zoe is on the stream today because we invited Zoe on the stream today. Estomich, you are on that list. We are tired of your biasness about Russia. Mutatio says, morning Natalie, I'm back in the country and in town. Mire, esa cueros. Yeah, I'm well, so you just left. We need to meet up, please. Is die Mavutu wat julle gesoek het? Nee, daar is nie Mavutus wat gesoek word hierso nie.
What does Mavutu mean?
Mavutu is goed as
the way that Neville Basson has explained it to me is a Mavutu is a side chick that you are allowed to have. So we as Namibian men that are married or in serious relationships, it is our given constitutional right to have a Mavutu or two or maybe even three.
You guys are making my brain hurt.
Yes.
Zoe, I've never said something like that. Ever. You know me for the longest time. I will never advocate for such language,
Of course.
such vocabulary,
Never.
and such a way of life.
I
Tita, ek, ami, nooit. Sal nie
You also
gebeur nie.
explained it to me that way. And
Exactly.
I am
No.
following
Yeah.
orders.
Yes.
No.
We are soldiers. We follow orders.
We are.
Oh God.
Tyds'er byt sy tong daar.
No, I'm not the Mavuto or
Yeah.
whatever, guys. I am just a guest for
Yeah.
the show. The guys were like, we need a bit of a feminine presence on the show. So I was like, I am the most feminine woman in the office. So
Yes.
I'm the woman for the job.
And I love
I'm being
Zoe's
sarcastic.
feminism. She's been sitting next to me for the last, how many years? 3 to 4
5 years.
It's been 5 years
She's
since
a
I've
brilliant
been.
journalist.
Yeah.
Are you saying that because we are on air?
It's Mavutu Day.
No, of course not. You have always been. Esther Mish says, Happy International Women's Day. Enjoy your fabulous day. Hot people, warriors for sure. God is surely a woman's strength. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Esther Mish Akin to Pasop Loija. Beware of the dog. English lacks effect at times, says Trinin Klov. Oh, Neville, dis Women's Day en die Mavutu soek al twee blomme. Is dit nou reg, bra? Vra Raymond Basson. Maar is daar nie 'n way om die petrol legally te kry, even if for northern regions? Vra Sylvia Wakumbwa. Nou hierdie moet ek nou my Maart salary budget vir Easter. Vra J, Natalie. I haven't asked. You all know the question, so please just answer. Shut up. Yeah. Ask you, oh miss, go ahead, Mitch. Mitch and Neva Mutatio is my uncle, my mom's baby brother. Happy Women's Day. I need to ask you, Zoe. So we have a very obtuse, unscrupulous element on our show every day.
Okay.
In the name of Jürgen Geisep,
Oh,
who
wow.
always like to come here and promote
His point of view.
gay rights.
Yes.
Okay, and we are tired of these things.
Promote.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Why would he do such a thing?
But Zoe, on a serious note, he says trans women are also women. This is
Yeah.
what he's saying.
I agree with the statement 100%.
Trans women
But
are
how?
all-
Because
women are
apparently,
also women, yes.
because Jürgen Gesep says that we also need to celebrate, trans women also need to celebrate Women's Day today.
Yes.
Exactly.
So,
But do they also celebrate Men's Day then?
No, they
No.
don't. They're women.
Transgender men? Or
They
remain men.
trans men celebrate Men's Day because they identify as
trans men are still men.
trans men are men.
Okay, I'm
It's
totally
the transition from woman to men or
Yes.
from men to
No,
woman.
the thing is, like yesterday,
think you guys are just
there were
confused.
advocates like, and I checked it on YouTube. They were like, Mother's Day should be changed into Women's Day.
Yeah,
because it's
I actually
not
know a
inclusive.
few trans women that I would like to say happy like Women's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excuse me, Mitch.
yeah. So they were
Lig die
advocating that. I said, can you me hear?
Okay.
Yeah, so they were advocating that Mother's Day should be changed to Women's Day because it's not inclusive to trans women.
And Father's Day then?
I mean, they were
Again,
advocating
pardon?
for that. So I'm
You
just
say?
like, how are we going to
Seriously.
change it?
Like Mother's Day should be
Change to Women's Day.
Women's Day?
Yeah, it should be named Women's Day, not
Why?
Mother's Day.
why?
Because it's not inclusive to trans women.
Trans women can also be mothers. There's nothing stopping them from
Thank you.
Hello.
doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I'm asking why we should be changed. Why should we change?
So any woman that adopts a child, let's say
Yes.
she cannot have a child, adopts
Yeah.
a child, that'll be her child.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need to celebrate Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Let Women's Day stand on its own.
Yes.
I do believe that we have to celebrate our women.
Yeah.
You understand? But
Yeah.
then we also have to celebrate our mothers.
Yeah.
Because every day is Father's Day.
And this lady was asked there, and she said,
Especially Fridays.
women it should be named Women's Day because mothers are also women. And I'm like, but it's just been a culture of celebrating Mother's Day. And trans women can be mothers too if they adopt the kid or even go through the process of what do you say, transformation
Yeah.
till the point that they can bear kids.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, let's just keep it. Why should we look for?
Well, wait a minute.
Mitch,
Can-
I'm so
arguments?
proud of the way your thought process is going right now. I'm so
He's
proud of
talking
you.
nonsense, man.
This is good. That is
Yeah,
very
I'm
good.
just saying, never like. Why should we have unscrupulous arguments from Jager Tyson?
Yeah. Yeah. But is it biologically possible for a man who becomes trans to bear children? I don't think that's possible.
I wouldn't say.
No.
I don't think so. But I can't say for sure because I don't know. But I'll do some research on it.
Yeah.
No,
But
they do,
I don't. I think I saw once an article about a man who was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I also saw that article.
I'm aware of that.
So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I saw that too.
Yeah.
The guy had a beard
Yeah.
like coffee. Yes.
Exactly like Coffee's
what's
beard.
his boyfriend?
Coffee.
Yes. Women say kissing men with beards is like eating soup with a fork. You
Hello.
just cannot get enough.
It's like what?
You just cannot get enough. Have you ever eaten soup with a fork?
No.
Floren Hansen says, today all women are allowed to cheat.
Yes.
Say Floren Hansen. Roviera says, not in the Ukraine, they are going to war. Wil of nie. Watse all women. You can't remove a gender simply because of a sex change. Trans women still celebrate Women's Day, Mother's Day, says Rob Dadon Hunter. Nina sê, as dit eers gevra word, is trans men, gaan dit 'n lang show wees. Nee, ons het net gevra.
There's a clear difference between sex and gender. So what the person commented is, I don't know, it has
Okay, maybe you can
me
explain to the person.
confused.
Explain to the person the difference between sex and gender.
Sex is biology. It's what you're born with. You're either like born intersex, woman, or male, female, male, or intersex. Or, yeah, that's the only three I know of. And gender is like the socially constructed roles of women and men, like, you know, how one is not born a woman, one becomes a woman. Yeah, it's based on
Gender.
like, for example, in our culture, Namadamara, when you sit down, it's like ngabai. It's like you have to close your legs when you sit down. Or there are certain things that is taught to you
Yeah.
on how to be correctly to be a woman.
To be a woman.
So that's gender. And like it differs from culture to culture.
But
Yeah.
are these things, Zoe,
Or-
are they not just semantics? Because
Exactly,
because the reason I'm asking this,
Exactly,
okay,
and semantics is a very subjective thing.
it's
'cause
a
it
very
changes
subjective
from-
thing, because and like you say, because you know we use English as our go-to when it comes to, especially when we're dealing with the LGBTQ community.
RST.
Yeah, and they you know what, all these, you know, words that we use today, these which I call semantics, and it becomes, sorry, but yeah, it becomes tiring.
What do you mean?
It becomes tiring because I need to now get my head around what is sex and what is gender. Because if I say sex wrong, then somebody is offended. Or if I say gender wrong, then sex is offended. So if I call you or they, then I was supposed not to say them, I was supposed to say they.
I've
or
also been actually guilty
Yeah.
of it, where I've had some friends who have gone through transitions from, like, you know, from
Gender
female to male, and like during the beginning stages, I was still not used to referring to them as a he. I would always say she, but I would catch myself and I would apologize because I understand that the person is going through a fundamental change. So I don't think it's something that only maybe like I think it's something that everyone could be, you know, responsible for. But I feel like it's, you know, it's just like a decent thing to do, to refer to someone based on their pronouns. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a mistake that not anyone can make.
Mohausi Bole says, trans women can never be women. They were born men. We can confuse every other statement, but not that they were born with a tolly
But they don't
and
need,
not a-
they don't need anyone's consent
and
to
a-
be what they are.
and
You
a
don't-
pada.
yeah.
Because then I can also decide to be a German. This is what Mohausi Bole says.
Estimate that'll be very nice if you
No.
convert to German.
This is what Mohau says.
Mohau.
Yeah. Jürgen Kesef says, nee. Okay, and Jürgen is our official gay representative of the show.
Go, Jürgen.
Nee, not all women are mothers. So Mother's Day is for all types of mothers.
Yeah.
Penda Nali says, every day is Father's Day. Whoop. Rovera says, men are men and women are women. There can't be others toch. A, B, C, D, E, F, wat se G goeters. This is what Rose says. Rob Dadon says, he can remove the tolly but will always be a man. Phew. Tangeni Tlabanello says, doesn't women have a whole month dedicated to them? Okay.
There's a whole month? Why didn't I know about this?
Mohau says, we have everything. Mutumba says, never. What are we saying? Men who transition into women must be allowed to compete with natural born women in athletics or boxing? I'm confused. Explain. This is one area, guys, where Zoe,
Gets
I
very
will
technical.
fight this until my dying day.
What will you fight?
I will never accept.
Yeah.
I will never accept a man, a biological man, who decides to become a woman, then decides to take part in women's sports,
Okay.
to be allowed and to be considered to be a woman when it comes to women's sports. Because I've seen this now in quite a number of
Australia,
Have you?
the swimmers. There's this swimmer. There's the swimmer that this swimmer is breaking all records currently.
Yeah.
Okay, all records the world over, because the women just can't compete with this person.
And the disrespect to the previous
Because of
record
the higher
holders.
testosterone levels, of course.
Because of the high
But have you
testosterone
also
levels.
thought about the other side of the coin, where multiple African women have been banned from different sporting events, women's sporting events,
Of course.
based on the perception that Europeans sometimes feel like some African women are more manly or like have higher testosterone.
We're talking about Custer.
Too, isn't it? We stood with
I
our
think
women.
yeah.
And that's
So
the
I
thing.
feel-
Now, Zoe, can you let me know now? Have you seen a female that converts, like trans men, breaking male records?
No, of course not. I've never heard
You
about
haven't
that.
seen one female being dominant in
A
that
woman.
field. Yeah, a woman.
Yeah.
Trans men.
Yes.
Dominating men in wrestling, in MMA or whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's always the men that transition.
And
The only
then
thing that's
become-
unfair.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that's really unfair?
Well, I think it's based on the testosterone levels and everything else. Because sometimes when a person transitions, they could really like lower their hormone levels to a point where
Yeah, that's what they say.
they're more female. Like
Yeah, but
But
then
I don't
we are
think
also built
But-
different. Like
yeah.
our muscle structure, our bone structure. Like men have much more broader,
Yeah.
more like broader shoulders, neck, and then
That's
our
another way to say it, shoulders.
shoulders, and our hip structure is also just different from you. And I just think
Yeah.
it's unfair.
I've seen Nama men with the same hips as Nama women. I'm just putting it out.
Sometimes we carry
Mitch,
for
stand
the-
up.
Sometimes we carry it for the ladies.
Oh,
We
okay.
help them carry, especially end of the month.
You're getting it.
Jürgen Gaisep says, it's Zoe mooi gehoor wat Mitch gesê het. Trans women can't get pregnant as they don't have a womb. That man that was pregnant was actually a woman transitioning to man. Hence he could get pregnant. Aha.
Here's an interesting statistics for us. And we're traveling back to the year 2018 because that's just
2018.
2018.
Okay.
So there was a total of 9,576 sex change surgeries performed in 2018.
976.
9,576.
The
Of
world
which,
over.
yeah, of which 2,885 were male to female surgeries and 6,691 of female to male surgeries. So are we seeing a trend that there are more females that would like to be males
Yeah. Oh, no,
than
no,
the other
no.
way around?
No, I think it's probably,
Excuse, come again?
In other words,
yeah,
okay,
that's difficult.
Like,
to
give me
understand.
the percentage, how many women have.
it would be about, make it just off the cuff here, make it 30% go from male to female,
Okay.
and then the other, make it 60 to 70%.
I don't
go
blame
from
them,
female
actually.
to
It's
male.
very quite difficult being a woman in the 21st century.
So that is what I'm asking. I'm just asking, are we seeing a trend
Yeah.
that more females would like to be males than the other way around?
Well, the statistics show that there's more females turning
Yes.
into.
Yeah, no, sure.
yeah.
If that's
Trans- yeah.
our base and
Yeah.
our confirmation, that's all good.
Yeah. Mutatio says, wait, Zoe, Mitch en Oom Nev, hierdie is mos nou 'n hele Kaisam is Damranama stasie.
Kainame.
Ja, as reg. Kalfi says you can never go wrong with German. Mutumba says that man was a woman who was transitioning into a man, but she kept her woman organs, which still allowed her to fall pregnant. I watched the docs. Ro is asking, is Zoe a Mavutu of a say ook a they?
I am a she, and
Yeah.
no, I'm also not a Mavutu. I'm not a side piece. I am the main meal, baby girl.
That's it.
10th of December is the day of Namibian women. As we have Paralympics, have trans. Shalako says we should have Translympics. I would agree with that.
Yeah, eh?
I would agree with that. Let's have Translympics
Yes.
where them can have their own.
We have the Paralympics.
Yeah.
Why not have Translympics?
Yes.
So, yeah,
I
I would
would-
agree with that. I would agree with that.
But
I would agree
Should
with
we
that.
have LGBTQI
I don't
Olympics?
agree.
Why?
I don't.
Okay,
Say again.
Because then
Thomas,
you
what?
guys, because being trans essentially is transitioning to either men or male or female. So you guys would be like creating a third segment for a third gender, because it's either.
But it was not us who created it, Zoe.
That's an accusation.
It's them who created
you
it.
guys did this. They did this.
We get blamed for everything.
No, but
everything.
it's. I don't know, because I don't know.
Okay, but wouldn't you
Because then
guys
they would.
also
Then
compete?
I'm sure that the debate would come up as like, am I not female enough or male enough? And then it would make them feel ostracized, I think.
Yeah, I know that debate will come up, but Zoe, wouldn't it be fair that you guys have your own thing, just like you have the Pride Month? Wouldn't it be fair, like, this is the Pride Month?
Yeah.
This is for all, it's all inclusive, it's for trans women, trans men, everything. So you have your own Olympics, and we support it.
I don't know.
Because it's like, look at this, if I have a daughter now, and my daughter is one of the fastest ladies in Namibia, and
I can see that happening, Mitch.
yeah, and Neville's son decides tomorrow he identifies as a lady, and he at his school he was 9th place. Now he's gonna be competing with my daughter, which is competing at that elite level of the of the ladies, and my daughter was killing it with the ladies. Now he will come there, and he was 9th place. He will be dominating my daughter. So now, what do I do as a parent? How would I feel? And my daughter is putting the work, and he decides, okay, I identify as a female from today onwards. Female Olympics is probably in the next 3-4 months.
Okay.
So what do I do now? My daughter is going to lose her chance of being the most fastest woman in Namibia.
That
No,
would
very
be
true.
tragic, Mitch.
Yeah,
That
very
would be
true.
Very tragic.
Yeah, but yeah, it's an ongoing discussion and debate.
Yeah.
But we'll see where that ends up. Wow, guys, there's a statistics that is shared here in the newspaper today that just shocked me out of my shoes today. And I want all of you guys on the stream to, I would love to hear what is your opinion on this. I believe that this was the topic. I remember when we started out the morning mix many years ago. This was one of the topics that made Maria walk out of the studio that one day.
Did she just leave?
She left. She left because we obviously had different
Varying views.
opinions
Right.
about this issue. So, and this issue just came up now again in society. And in one of the dailies, it's reported that 40% of men believe in physically disciplining women.
Like you are
You're
a
kidding
child,
me.
disciplining.
Yeah.
So 40% of Namibian men beat their women?
And let's hear I want to see let's just put
What
it into
the
quick
hell?
context here. Nearly 40% of Namibian men believe it can be justified sometimes to physically discipline a partner if she does something he does not like or thinks is wrong. This is according to a recent Afrobarometer survey, which also found that more than 40% of Namibians believe that a woman will be criticized, harassed, or shamed by others in the community if she reports a gender-based violence case to the police. It said a majority of Namibians believe that violence against women and girls is common in their homes and communities and should be treated as a criminal matter. Nearly 6 in 10 Namibians, that's 57%, report that in their area it is either very common, 29%, or somewhat common, 28% of men, to use violence against women and girls in the home or in the community. Only 16% say it is not at all common. The survey indicated that while more than half of Namibians believe that men are never justified in physically disciplining their wives, about 4 in 10 say this can be justified at least some of the time.
The patriarchy.
Do they all belong to the ruling party?
Neville, where was this stats taken? I was not asked about this. Were you asked about this? Who was
Yeah,
doing the stats?
I will answer your question, not Calvi's
I
question.
think it was a sample.
Okay, I was only joking. I was only joking.
We have
Okay, we have the jabs for you, your party.
Guys, on a serious note, I think let's
Look, it's it just looks
What are
scary.
your
It is
opinions
shocking.
as Namibian men in studio? What do you guys think?
let me ask the men. Let me ask the men first.
This is absolutely shocking.
Let's first and foremost be very honest with ourselves, the
Yes.
three of us, as we sit here.
Oh, boy.
Have any one of you, and I'm asking the question for me inclusive, and I will answer that also inclusive. Have any one of you ever hit a woman or felt like hitting a woman?
I once had to defend myself like this. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was physically attacked.
Yeah.
Oh, you were defending
I
yourself.
was attacked by a lesbian in a bar.
Oh my God, that's
Have you
terrible.
ever seen lesbians in a bar fight? Papa,
They
you've gotta- I
can
tell
really
you.
go for it.
And that is the
Wow.
whole thing. You know, as sy haarself gedra soos 'n man, dan moet sy mos bakslaag kry soos 'n man as sy aan na jou toe kom.
Yeah.
And I know that what I'm saying is so wrong at the moment. But I was physically attacked by a lesbian that
lesbian?
was I tell you,
Huge.
Must have been a very scary
and
experience.
I had to defend myself and kind of run out there.
Mitch?
I felt like hitting a woman a lot of times. But you can think it, but you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like you,
Okay.
I
Just
felt
because
like
there are some
robbing a
women that
bank
can drive you
once.
to the brink. Eh?
I
There's-
felt like
there's
robbing
some-
a bank once. I was so in financial financial struggle, but you don't do it. It's not right. You can think about it. You can justify it in your head, like, but she burned my car. That's the only thing I have.
So how many women do
but
abuse their husbands
Did I?
or their men?
You don't just do it.
It's actually a very prevalent thing. You would be shocked.
I know.
Neville and you.
Yeah, no, fair question. I think I'm in the same space as you, Mitch. I think in my lifetime, and that is why with relationships that I've had in my past, if I would start off a relationship with any woman in my past, if I see any level of aggression, I can't stand an aggressive partner because I'm very docile when it comes to relationships.
Okay.
So the moment I see any level of aggression,
Like even with speech.
with
like-
speech,
Yeah.
the way you speak to me, I prefer to walk away. And like Mitch say, I've had instances in my past where I felt like, hey, say nog een ding. Just say one more thing. But through God's grace, I've never done it, and I don't think I will ever do that. But it.
But when it comes to bedroom spanking,
Okay, no, that's something different.
I think that's a different category.
Yeah, that's a different category. That's a different. Sorry, net gou. So Zoe, what's your take on this whole issue? And I'm talking from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
Don't you think sometimes you guys need a little bit of hiding because
Please
of
don't
how?
ask me that question.
I need to ask the question.
Well, I think starting off with a statistic which says that 44% of men,
40%.
or 40%, believe that it is okay to discipline a woman in one way or the other.
Right.
I feel like this is very reflective in the Namibian society we live. I think especially growing up in Katutura, you wake up on a Saturday morning and you're just like, oh, hey, people are just like, oh, and people just go about their day like, I'm going to go buy sugar. I see the neighbors fighting. It's none of my business.
have you ever seen?
Or like you write a story, like a GBV story or a rape story, and then you see the comments and you're shocked that the people actually focus more on the person that has been assaulted or raped. They would be like, this woman, why did she go to the pastor, Pastor, I'm praying for you. You don't deserve this to come onto your good name. What was she thinking? Oh my God, she's 18 years old. She knew what she was doing. And I'm like, it's very reflective of that statistic that says that 40%, because it shows that people will always find a reason to believe that there's some kind of reason to like physically assault somebody, especially women. So I feel like the statistic is not a lie. It could even be higher.
Kaufi, your life partner, Zelly, you get into a massive argument one day. Massive. It's an argument that you've never had before. And she... Hannes, your master...
She would never say.
Yeah, but it's now...
See, Neville, let's also... I've once been in an abusive relationship for about 3 years.
Nee.
I can tell you something. There are some heavily abusive women out there that can drive you to the brink of losing your marbles.
Yeah.
They do that intentionally. They do it with planned coordination to destroy you.
A day at a time.
And you, as a male partner, you don't even realize it. You realize it 3, 4, 5 months once you're already down there. You don't even know that you've gone down the rabbit hole so deep. You just think everything is still in order. From hero to zero in 3 years. So it's not in. That's why it's so important if we are in relationships, such as marriages or life partners or whatever it might be, that we make sure that we are truly loving and caring to each other.
Yeah.
You understand? So that what you've just said in terms of Zelly, she would never say that to me. I would never say that to her. It just doesn't exist in our home, in our
the
place.
Dynamics of your
and
relationship.
the dynamics, it's just not there.
Yeah.
So wag, kom ek hoor gou wat sê Mitch. You obviously have something to say about
I
it.
just want to bring some stats like these American stats.
Mitch.
What's that?
Yeah, according to the National Bureau of Justice Statistics, males experience higher victimization rates than females for all types of violent crimes except rape or other sexual assault. In 2014, more than 73% of those arrested in the U.S. were males.
Violence.
But what are you talking about?
So what the stats are saying is like they say it's not reported that much, but when they ask, like, females feel more like they could be violent towards a man and he can't do nothing about it.
Mitch, why you? I know it's semantics, but why you keep on mentioning? Why are you referring to women as females?
Because it's females, right? Isn't it?
But
I have to say females.
But
Otherwise,
say,
I'm in trouble.
No, say women.
Oh, women.
Yeah.
You can't say ladies.
Rather say women.
Girls.
Because females is like a kitty.
No, it's
the
what
gazelles.
it says. It's how it's written here. Sorry.
So, Mitch, are you saying
it's
that more men in the state get assaulted than women?
Yeah, like except for crimes.
Like such as rape?
Crimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So,
feel
but
like,
that's not me saying it.
yeah.
It's
and that's
steps
men on
from-
men violence. Even in the crime report, you see it every day. You're just like, man steps other man, man does this to other men. And it's like males die at a higher rate.
And we don't want to discuss men on men violence here. That's not what we want to discuss. We want to discuss domestic issue. Is there a domestic issue
it's
statistic
domestic,
that
that's what
we're
I'm
talking about?
So, and I wanted to tell you a story. So this is what happened. I've been in this situation for a long time. So I got beaten up by my girlfriend. I got beaten up by my girlfriend, and we called the neighbors called the police, and the police came there. So I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
So I'm bleeding from my head.
Sorry that had to happen.
Yeah, and then the police come through and they are like, yeah, so what did you do to her that she did that to you?
Did you retaliate or was she just attacking you? What happened?
Yeah, she was attacking me. And I was like, I just stood there. I was like, I know what's going to happen if I do something. So let me just stand. It's cool. I tried to walk away. It still happened. And these guys know that it had happened probably like 3-4 times. He was like, oh, jaywalk, bro. Why don't you just leave? I'm like, why do I have to leave my house? Why don't you come take her? Take her up. And she's like, no, we can't take a woman this time of the night. You must go find a guest house.
Oh dear.
I'm like, okay. So they were like, what did you do to her that she did that to you? So that's the stance in it's just bad. That's just how I feel.
I'm not denying the fact that Namibian females, gender-based violence towards females is a massive issue in the country.
Skyrocketing.
And believe me, Neville, I mean,
Say
like
again?
I said,
Say again?
It's a massive issue.
the gender-based violence towards our Namibian women
Yeah.
is a massive issue because, like I said, I've been sitting next to Zoe for the last 3 years. Every Monday morning, the reports that we see coming through from our journalists, I mean, it's terrible.
It's like,
However, the police do have a mindset about them that wherever they go, it must be the man's fault. They don't truly look at the situation and say, but hang on a moment, this is perhaps the other way around.
like
This
what did
guy,
she say to
this
instigate
man
him?
was attacked by her. Now she says she was attacked by him. You see, because every time you come to one of these, the police rock up at one of these things without even properly investigating. Dit moet die man se fout wees.
They came to arrest me. They
Exactly.
were there for me.
Exactly.
But I called them.
Because it's the
I
way
mean,
it is,
if you
isn't it?
arrive at the scene, who do you find bludgeoned? Who's lying
Let's
down?
say both are bludgeoned.
Mitch was bludgeoned here.
I was bludgeoned.
Let's
She was
take
just
him
standing there, and
as
they
an
came
example.
to arrest
Yeah.
me. I called them, but they came to
So
arrest me.
she
I
attacks
agree.
him, and then afterwards she just takes a knife and cuts herself with the
Yeah.
and she says, hang on, he stabbed me with a knife and I defended myself. That's why he looks like that. Liars, bunch of liars. Sleep hulle toe, gooi weg die sleutel.
No, and it's not to be personal. I'm just saying, as a man, you stand more chance of being arrested for GBV than you have committed.
'Cause
if you say I beat you up, I could be bloody with it. If you say that, it's done. Then we'll go lock me up.
Yeah, there's a clear line between self-defense, of course, and being agitated by someone, or like defending yourself. But I feel like when they say that there's at least one or another reason to discipline, the word itself, discipline. I feel like it comes from a very patriarchal space where, are we still in the 40s or are we in 2022? Because I feel like it comes from that traditional roles of what a female should do and what a male is, and what the male roles are, and this term of I feel disrespected always comes up.
Yeah. Is it perhaps that because the word discipline?
Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm a kid.
Is it
Stand in the corner.
Yeah. Is it perhaps that because of this patriarch system that we do talk about, Zoe, is it perhaps that men in general in Namibian society still feels that my woman is my piece of property?
Oh, yes.
Because if I discipline you,
then you
It's-
must
it's-
be
it's
somewhat subservient. to
subservient.
the person. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word. Because the word disciplining is a very strong word. It means like I have authority over you, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And which
Yeah.
is the case. I feel like most GBV cases are very they're tied to the economy, or because most of these women do not have a place to stay. They
Right.
depend on the guy.
Right.
And
So it's desperation that brings it all out.
also
isn't it?
sometimes, and you feel like, what will this person do if I can beat her, or where will she go? Like, she needs money from me,
Yeah.
so it also comes from that.
That's the thing I hate about some lever. This guy takes your daughter. He's like, okay, so you're gonna stay at home, or you can work, but I buy the stuff. So they buy a fridge, they buy they stay for 10 years. Now if he decides, no, I don't want to be with you anymore. She knows already, she's now 35 or something. Now how is she gonna start?
Exactly.
Because when she moves out of there, she has nothing.
She has nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has nothing. So what does she do? She'll be like, I guess
I feel like a lot of men get high on that power.
Yeah,
and that's where they feel like they can do
crazy.
anything.
I've seen that a lot, Neville. I've seen that a lot. The guy puts the girl out on the street because he came drunk, And he's like,
Wadi Omzahu.
Wadi Omzahu, yeah.
Wadi
And now she
Omzahu.
doesn't have anything on her name there.
It's
this
terrible,
lady's
guys.
40 years old,
Yeah.
never. Where does she go?
Yeah, yeah.
You know that you get women cage fighting.
Cage fight.
I've seen that.
Oh, where? Can I join?
Octagon.
That's actually, but you've got to take the punches now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, no.
so
Then we're not doing
for those of you who want to, males now, men, want to beat up your wives, just leave that and just go watch women cage fighting.
cage fighting.
See them beat each other. Don't beat your woman or wife.
Sublief.
Or
Asablief.
Tangeni with a capital T says, when and where was this study done? Sounds like it was perhaps done in the north. Panga and Knopkiri.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tangeni, you are becoming, that's such a tribalist statement that you are making there. Marano, yeah. Estomish says, Neville, is that beating to be violent, or are we talking about near Estomish? We are not talking about 50 Shades of Grey fetish. Mutumba says, are we counting siblings fighting each when they are young kids?
Yes.
Yeah, it normally starts there, Mutumba. I remember me and my little sister, and I see my son and my daughter, they used to fight a lot when they were younger. Man, yeah, it gets better the older they get. Florence Hansen say, en Nama Macy's looks fights when they want on beskof. Yeah,
What did the Nama girls do again?
yeah, they look for fights or whatever. Roviera says, I put a drunk girl in a chops at one time when she tried attacking me. It was just neutralizing the situation. But otherwise, I never beat a woman in my life. That is a muhu move, and we should put that 40% as muhus of the week. Ro, that is
Totally
something
agree.
very good what you are saying.
And it all starts here in the brain.
Yeah.
The way a person thinks about a certain subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Galfi, just for your information, what Ro says, as I say, we put you in a chops.
Yes.
Tails.
Slant you on a tail. You say means if somebody stands up in front of you
Right.
and you want to neutralize somebody.
It's just
Oh, you
Hitler's
skop sy
special
bene.
is-
You just- at the Achilles.
That's what we call that. Ek het jou chops gegee.
It's such a savage thing to
Yeah.
do. You should never do it to anybody.
Yeah. Jagan Kesef says, Boy Estomish, where will these knopkoppen know about fetishism? It's a study on violence. Please tell that to Estomish. Don't come and teach us about fetishism here. Tell Estomish to get her head out of fetishism because we're discussing violence here. Okay? Jagan, JN Estomish. Gaan aan julle twee. We'll put you up as mugus of the week. Yeah. Walk out of the kitchen if it's hot, says Floren Hansen. Kini, I see you. We are still on the genetic and sex, female-male talk. We have moved on from that topic. Roviera says, maybe the 40% here spanking in the bedroom. Guys, what we are discussing is genuine violence against GBV violence. We're not talking sex today. It's not Friday.
Oh, we
Mohar
talk
said-
about sex on Friday. Can I come in on Friday
No,
again?
of course you can come in on
Okay.
Friday. I have never been beaten, but there were times that I was talking and the mister really outdid himself with the self-control. Shame ons kan maar ook stout wees. What Mohau is saying here, and Mohau is basically confirming to what we as men know, that women can sometimes be very deliberate in how they provoking men. This is what she's saying because she says this is what she's been doing.
Okay.
But she admires the self-control of her partner. Sylvia says, jy moet jou kind gaan slaan. My pa het my genoeg geslaan. Hoe discipline jy 'n ander groot mens? This is what Sylvia says. Raymond says, it's all about the upbringing. If it happens in the household, small children will see this as okay when they are in the relationship later in life. Can I ask you guys that? Would you agree with that statement?
No, not at all.
Huh?
No, never, not at all. No, not in my household. Not in my household. No. I don't. My dad is the most chilled person.
But that is what we are asking. Let's say your mother was beaten by your father all the time. Would that not, because this is what you see,
Would it not manifest itself in
would
you?
that not manifest itself in you, that you're going to start doing the same when you become a man and you have a disagreement with your wife or your woman in the house?
But I would think
It's all
different
you've
from
known,
that,
after all.
because men feel bad when their fathers beat. They feel like they want to protect their mother.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, they're like, yo,
Yeah. And I've seen this,
Respect their
yeah.
father for that. But
Yeah.
I don't, that I think that would be in their mind psychologically, be like, yo, I am not gonna be like my father.
But I've seen, like what Raymond is saying here, I've seen in a lot of cases, if you hear about a man who's abusive, I've seen a lot in the history. If there's a possibility to go in the history of this human being, then you can clearly hear that the father was abusive.
Yeah.
The grandfather was a korrelkop, hardgepakte bliksem,
It's a
who
vicious
did the
cycle.
same thing, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. But then there's that element that you also talk about, where I've seen boys who can't stand nonsense like that.
Yeah.
And then they can't wait until they're big enough to beat up their father.
Yes, yes.
That I've seen. That I've seen a lot. Jürgen Kesem says corrective. Wag eers. Okay, Jürgen Kesem, julle is nog met sex, female, what. We've moved on from that discussion. Florence Hansen says, my ex-meisie van Damara lokasie het my mooi duur t-shirts verkoop by groot winkels, dan vloek sy my ma en my hond en push me around, toe gee ek haar mos high five in haar face en daarna soek sy onbeskof. Jong, die aand,
There's a lot to unpack there.
I can't even read this comment any further. Floren, you are
As
just...
je die naam Florence zei, moet je die naam die van al dit.
Floren Hansen, yeah.
God.
I think it comes from our
So
cultural...
she was selling shirts, insulted him plus his doggo,
Yeah.
and then what else?
Swearing at him, etc., etc.
Oh, wow.
But they made passionate love.
And then he
the
gave
night.
her a high five in the face. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's probably a slap.
Yeah. Which is wrong. But I think both of them are wrong. But then he says that they made passionate love the night.
After she sold his branded T-shirts.
Yeah. Mutumba says, I
a
think
story.
it comes from our cultural background. Some even call it disciplining their wives. I've seen it many times, even in my hometown, Katima Mulilo. Some of my aunties would come sleep over at our home because the uncle has engaged his Harry Simon.
I wish
The
I knew
elders
that
would hide it. Whew. Exactly. Hey, Tuva, Maria is on the stream. Exactly, Zoe. It's male on male violence that make up these figures, which just goes to show that even men are afraid of and violent towards each other.
Yep.
Raymond says, daar's manne wat ek ken wat vir jou bang is vir hulle vrouens, het hulle twee nie mekaar uit liefde gevat nie. 40% it's gradually going down. Mara, why do I have a feeling that Kaufman was eyeing the lesbian's partner? Says
I was
Hasino
not, believe me.
Kambikiti.
I think the lesbian was just upset because I could drink more than she.
I wanted to go back to that story actually because it
Kom ek-
was self-defense.
Ja.
Yeah.
Hier is nog 'n paar comments. Esther Mich says, I am waiting for that man who think he can beat me up and I'll stand there. Any human who threaten or come in attack mode, my instincts are high, so I become defensive. Not even Putin black belt will help. Trini is still on the gender issue. Okay, here comes Trini now on the topic. Men can be physical because their physical attributes generally, but the emotional and mental violence unleashed by our fairest sex, Putin and his nukes are a joke, literally speaking.
I agree with you, Tini.
What Mitch is saying, your girlfriend would box you and she's once you lift your hand towards her, the boys in blue will come and load you up in that cold bakkie. Whoopi Goldberg got cancelled because she defended an American football player who knocked out his girlfriend because she almost knocked his eye out. She said, if you as a lady put up your hands for men, don't be shocked when he retaliates. Jürgen Gay said, okay, there was something that somebody said here. I think it was probably Mutumba that was talking about. Oh, no, that was what Trini was saying. How sharp a woman's tongue is. What is it, Zoe? Maybe you can tell us so that we can understand. What is it about? Is it a deliberate thing that women do on the other side, as wrong as men are in abusing women physically? Which that is wrong on all levels.
Yeah.
But why do women feel sometimes that they can just say anything to you, insult you, say whatever they feel like saying?
I feel like it's an individual thing. I shouldn't think it should be a blanket statement that says it's what women do. I feel like it's an individual thing. I feel like you can find men who have really ugly personalities. You can find women who have ugly personalities.
Crap
People who
characters.
have no respect for people's boundaries and
Yes.
who feel like they can speak to someone the way they wish. Or, it just happens. You just find
Excuse
crappy
me.
people out there.
It just happens, huh?
It happens, and I don't think it's just
When
a
it's the
purely
other
female
way around,
thing.
You don't say it's an individual thing, then you say women
What?
are trash.
What?
Yeah.
Why we should be singling it out when the woman is doing that?
Because I didn't see in the statistics that 925 men were raped from 2020 to,
Okay.
So no,
to
no.
Okay, but
2021.
okay, but
I
what
didn't
we
see that in the statistics.
Okay,
so
but
the
we're-
men are trash comes from the statistics.
Okay, but what we are discussing now,
Yeah.
what and that's what we're saying. We don't want to do any whataboutism now.
Yeah.
We like, as much as we do discuss the issue of
Yeah.
men who are abusive,
Yeah.
and we address that issue,
Yeah.
that men must stop that bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, because
Jesus, swear.
the patriarch system that we grew up in is wrong. That we
I-
think that women are our property.
I-
My question is, why do women do that? And as much as we generalize
Do
with
what?
men,
Like say stuff to men that are very
Yeah,
disrespectful.
why?
Hang on. Neville, although the statistics show, let's say, 47% of men beat up their women and all that, it's a statistic, right? However, each and every one of those cases is an individual case.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what you're asking, Zoe,
Yeah.
or us for that matter, why do women
Yes.
think that they can just
Yes.
blabble out whatever?
and I wanted to
It's
concentrate on
It's
that.
an individual thing. And let me tell you what it's all about. It is because of these individuals having crappy characters. They've got cuck characters.
Yeah.
So now let me let me tell you how characters are being built. My mother's always told me, my son, be careful of your thoughts. Because your thoughts will become your words.
Actions. Yeah.
Your words will become your actions. Your actions will become your habit. And your habit is going to become your character.
Yeah.
So if you look at an individual who says something, maybe somebody that you've just met, and you walk away and you say to yourself, wow, what a crappy character. Then you are actually saying to yourself, this guy's person, woman or female, or a male or man, is basically, he's got a kakgedachtes.
Yeah.
Shitty thoughts.
Yeah.
Because it's their thoughts that build up their shitty character.
Yeah.
That is. So what we are actually saying in Namibia with these statistics, we've got terrible characters amongst our society.
Well, let's just single it out.
Amen,
But
Kofi.
I feel like people, like a woman, pet themselves for their toxic behaviors. Like if they're gonna like what Mohan
This
just
is.
said.
I need to say this is Mitch's favorite topic.
What did you
I'm
just say, Mitch?
Like
What did you say?
Like petting herself for toxic behavior. Like, yo, I'm so proud of Manier for handling himself, and she knew she was deliberate with what she was doing. It was like, yo, he's a man. He handled himself, and that's what they do. Like, she will come and then come smack you and be like, yo, you're a real man because you did nothing. And I think that's the problem, because, so let me be honest with you. I don't believe men probably hate women back or hate women for what they say. You know, you can get shitty men.
I think
but
it
it's
could
not
be both
basically
ways.
for
It
what
could
they
be
say.
both. It could be both.
It could be both too. But I'm just saying it's not. That's why I ask you, why are you singling out? Why are you like saying, okay, it's an individual problem when the woman is the offender? You see, and it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
So
I can't fathom that.
I'm saying that because it would seem like a blanket statement that you would say that all these GBV cases and all these rape cases are skyrocketing are based on the fact that women say terrible things and thus.
No, you can't
No,
justify
no.
that.
Because then that would
No.
it sound. I don't know.
No, that's not what we're saying.
And then what are you trying to say? Like,
No.
why are some women
Yeah.
so unbecoming
Yeah.
of their manners?
Okay.
Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, okay, Zoe, we want to
I can't
discuss.
answer that.
We want to discuss that in isolation.
In isolation and not as a reason for why
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
such
Because-
high GBV.
Yeah, because whenever we discuss the atrocities of men,
Yeah.
what they do towards women and children, we discuss that in isolation.
Okay.
We don't want to discuss what the woman said.
Okay. And
Or
it
did.
say it's because of that.
Yeah, we
Okay.
want when we talk about that, it's important to put that in complete isolation.
I don't want to say anything that might be like, tribalist. or
Here we
anything,
talk,
'cause
we
I'm a
speak
very-
our mind.
I'm a very politically correct person, guys.
We can't. We.
Me, I don't want to be in trouble. And then the Nama see me in the streets and they're like, hey, Sasa, what did you say?
Okay, there you just gave the answer. So this is a Nama problem. Mitch.
They're feisty. They're really feisty.
No,
And
actually, let's be honest. As much as it is in numbers, I think that men are brought up and taught how to treat women and also taught how to respect women. Women are brought up and told you don't need a man. You don't need to be what. Men are basically, a man's whole life is
Yeah.
around a woman. The first person he sees is his mother.
Yeah.
His teacher is a female. So a woman is much more, has much more contributions in a man's life than a man has. So I feel like, it's not a thing of, okay, this is the culture, this is the culture. Our women are told that, diamond,
Kalfi,
you know.
good
which is
point.
not a wrong thing.
Kalfi,
I
in
was
the
connected.
German community, do you know of German men who are abusive towards their women or their girlfriends?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I just happen to don't know it.
I know of, personally, I know of a lot of German, Afrikaner men who love sexist
Behavior.
behavior.
Yes.
The type of jokes they tell at a party. I've frequented homes of Afrikaner men or German men where I can see how they speak to their wives in a very derogatory manner, very subservient way that they treat their wives. I've seen that many a times. As much as I've seen how arrogant a hetero man can stand as he speaks to his wife who rides at the back of the bakkie. As much as I've seen in the Damara or Nama community the stuff that you talk about that you don't want to say about.
I never said anything.
Yes, of course. So all I'm just saying is that, and as much as we see and the level of GBV cases that we see from the north in the Oshuambo community, this thing of GBV, of abuse, etc., this is not cornered in one particular race or tribe or whatever. It's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And I tell you, it's not only in Namibia.
It's not only in Namibia.
It's worldwide.
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
It's worldwide. Maria says it often manifests itself. Fact remains that many perpetrators of violence were victims themselves. Also, one needs to make a distinction between women and a man's mother. Men think differently of their mothers, almost as sacred beings, than they do other women. That is very true. My mother is a saint. Jacobus Retief. Jaco say, can't wait for the Friday show with Zozo. Hou that up. Sylvia says,
You've got
it
to do
will,
that.
and I have vowed
Zozo.
it will end with my mom. Rose says, it does play a role. Kids mimic what they see. Mutatio Karsten says, Mary, I'm good. I'm glad to hear that you're good. It rained in Omaike. I'm on the Keter post most of the time, but happy. You are right about it becomes a cycle when brought up in violence house. Yes, it's possible to go on if love found you. One can be safe from violence or education. Education is the power to everything. I was a street kid. I had faced horrible things, says Floren Hansen, and education saved me. Otherwise, I would have been a bad person. Good on you, Florence. Maria says, often women only have their words to fight. Hence, why some have sharp tongues. Physically, like Bernardo Swarben. That woman, that Katrina in Parliament.
I actually saw her yesterday, Katrina.
She looked good.
Yeah, at State House.
Physically, we are not as strong as men, so when disagreements arise, especially with the opposite sex, women rely on their words, not on their physical strength. But I do agree that it is an individual issue, not necessarily a gender one. But Maria, I'm just asking. I think it would be extremely wrong to say that, men often only fight with their physical strength because we don't have sharp tongues. Can we say equally the same thing?
So basically what we're saying is I'm asking, is it so that men can't express themselves the way women do?
Yeah, but we have physical strength.
The men then become physical.
Yeah, but again, would it be okay to justify that? A man's strength is physical, so I need to fight with what I have. A woman's strength is her tongue. She needs to fight with what she has.
Unless you're a woman cage fighter.
Sorry, let's come to the point of acceptance. Would women say we should accept women defending themselves
with it? Good.
Accept men defending themselves physically?
That's a good point, and that's exactly what I wanted to say, Shines. What Shines is asking, Maria, Shines is asking, so should we now accept that men need to defend themselves with their physical strength and women defend themselves with their tongue? Which is both wrong.
Both is wrong.
Both is wrong.
Emotional abuse is bad.
Yeah.
Physical abuse is
Yeah.
bad.
Look at me on a Monday morning.
The matriarch.
I want to say that I think men can
Saw a
fight
little mark
back
there.
with
I was
their-
like, is coffee okay?
verbally too. It's just that they'll call
I saw that too, ne? I saw that too.
Hey,
Huh?
When he had the mark.
Yeah, he walked
Yeah.
into a tree.
I walked
Yeah.
into a tree.
No, we didn't believe that one.
And it's okay.
Ons dink jy's gemoer van Zelly by die huis. Finish en klaar.
Walked into a tree, it's okay. It can hurt
My Zelly would never beat me on the head.
We don't believe you.
Twice.
Not on the head.
more than-
Hy's gemoer van Zelly. Finish en klaar. It's our story and we're sticking to it.
I think men can fight back verbally.
Yeah.
It's just that the way we were raised is that a man wat baie praat is a moffie. And you guys use that against us. I can go toe to toe with you anytime, any day. It's just that people that
Yep.
Vat's a man praat met 'n vrou so. But never will anybody say Vat's 'n vrou praat met 'n man so. So it's acceptable. Even we can do a social experiment. We can go out there and you could be telling me, forcing me, smacking me in the head, telling me, kom ons gaan wat. People will walk past me.
Yeah.
If I do it, a man will turn around and try to help you.
I've seen that social experiment.
So it's just that. So men don't know they're boxed in not to really fight you back verbally. So their thing is to, okay, let me neutralize the situation.
Queenie says, the matriarch is alive and well, and all these speak to the environment through which we are conditioned to. If every man was to reveal what their mothers say about men and women in general, we will be in a vicious cycle. At most, more so were vested interests are concerned. Korwanje, Queenie. Tangeni says, Mitch, never let Mitch ni medical aid ni. Organize toch for demand a therapist of counseling. Too many scars.
No, guys, let's not laugh about Mitch's past situation.
Yeah.
That is nicht good. No, Mitch, don't say that. You're in a
Natalie
safe
sê,
place now, man.
Ja.
You could,
Yes,
Ja.
cool. Blue one.
Neville, julle moet weer 'n vrou gebruik haar mond om te fight en mans mense gebruik hulle hande. But it's not right. Natalie, I think both ways it's not right. Most women on men abuse goes unreported because of social stigma and programming of men having to present themselves as tough. Hence, that 40% does not really present a holistic view. Guys, if my woman scratches me to a certain point, I just leave the fridge open and go have a beer. Kom môre later met haar. Kos sal vrot raak in die huis so waar. Sê Rovera. The best thing is for you to set the tone, tell and show the next person how you want to be treated or loved. And then also, men, the way you love the woman in your life is a benchmark for how your children will perceive boundaries. Muhau. German men are worse, say Floren. They can even chop and eat. They are abusers. It is happening. Come to Germany and I can send you statistics. This is what Florence says. Mutumba says they call the white vest as a wife. I don't understand why that vest is called a wife beater. Oh, I heard why it's called a wife beater.
why?
Jy ken hy vest.
Yeah.
It's
It's white.
Onderhemp.
It's an onderhemp, you know, with a cut off, what do you call it? Wat is die moue?
Jy moet tog dit dan ken.
Yeah.
Hierdie moue.
Yeah. It's like
Ja,
a
it's a-
kind
is 'n
like
onderhemp.
little.
Ja, die onderhemp.
Ja.
Maar het mos nie moue nie.
Nee.
Okay. Now, this comes from, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this comes from the history of these hillbillies in Texas, the
Right.
Southerners,
Yeah.
the beer drinking white
The rednecks.
rednecks, hillbillies. Those guys are always the ones with those shirts who beat up their wives.
Okay.
Okay? So if somebody has a shirt on like that,
Yes.
historically it's called a wife beater. You got
okay.
a wife beater on.
Right.
Um,
Luckily, I don't wear those.
Yeah, no, I don't wear a wife beater. Men will kill if women tell you that the child that you raise and love is not yours. Daar's vrouens wat se tonge baie gevaarlik is, sê Raymond Basson. Maria said, but that is a fact, Neville. Most men fight physically and women fight verbally. It is what you say, but what we are saying is that should not be justified. I should not be fighting you physically, and women should not talk to me the way that you feel like talking to me.
Yes.
We should all just hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Hey, gaan Floren.
En-
Ek noem jou nie Florence nie.
And fry their marshmallows over open flames.
Exactly.
I just hope you guys can go spend time at Grootwinkel. So just go there and go see what happens.
Where what?
Talking about men fight physically and women verbally. You
Maria say, then you are a Morphy Mitch. Because no one talks more than
Can
you.
we not use the term morphy as a derogative
point.
term or as an insult to someone?
It just proves my point. But I would rather be a morphy that's not in jail. Rather than beating you, I would rather talk to you and insult you at the same level, and I'll still go back to my girlfriend's house and sleep next to her.
Yeah.
And I would not be in jail. I will not beat you to show you my male power. No. You handle your
Esther
jail
Mitch says Jerry Springer created a show for people to take out their frustration. Shall we not do this on the morning mix sometime?
Wow.
Jerry. I used to love Jerry
I used
Springer.
To too,
Just-
man. I used to.
There was
Until I found out it was staged.
some really
That
interesting
stuff
people.
is very staged, huh? I think that stuff is very staged.
man.
There was a time, I think in the late 90s and early 2000s, I loved to watch the Jerry Springer. But later on, it's even that other show, what is it called? Cheaters.
Yes.
Cheaters became also too staged for me.
Staged, yeah.
Very staged.
Very, very staged
It
because
was so epic.
My mom used to believe that stuff. CJ, Eben, ek moet jou so gaan vang as-"
It's worse when they're in bed.
My mom was warning my father for.
Maar I swear, ne, if mevrou comes to Arabush Lodge with a whole camera crew
Yeah.
and she knows exactly in what room I am, and I open the door and I see mevrou there, I was just like, hello, mommy.
You can't faint on the camera, Neville.
Ek val
What
net.
are you doing here?
Ja, just hey. Wat soek jy so? Huh? Is die kinders alright? Is die water betaal?
Ek sê net, laat ek net gou klaar maak.
Oh,
Kry jy by
wow.
die kar.
If you have
Savage.
a black card, you can just give her a black card. You're like,
Savage.
But I've met men and some of my friends who've gone through being entrapped like that, caught like that. That must be one of the most horrifying experiences.
It's a very terrible experience.
How do you explain? Mitch, you look like a guy who got caught. That's it. Kyk hoe vryf is hy ook.
Gevang.
Up into it.
Jy is al gevang, man.
never.
They caught you.
It's not really like caught. This is what
So he
happened.
admits he
the
did
lady
it first.
didn't tell me she had a boyfriend. So is this that era when the Angolians had this US dollars or what?
Uh-huh.
So I was one of those Nama lucky guys that got accepted by a Nama girl. Van Nama's had net Angolans getree.
Ja.
Oh, dit was nie 'n grap nie. Hey, hulle het ook Portugees gepraat die Nama. So I went to her place. I went to
Nee, man.
What is...
Ja.
Never. Ek sê jou die Nama se Portugees gepraat.
Como está? Tudo bem? Tá fish.
Dat vis Nama pay.
Number
Touch anything, just get me out of this situation.
So you know these guys were bodybuilders. I don't know what in the Kietmas was going on with these Angolan dudes. They were all just in the gym.
Oh,
And
wow.
they were like big black dudes.
Yeah.
You get, and this guy came to come get us at his place. And I didn't know it's his place.
Yeah.
I should have known she was a number. So, oh, my kid must never. The guy got me there. I was threatening the guy I'm from Kaltura, bro. Hey, you can't me, bro. I guess I'm Kaltura. You don't know me. They went me around me bed so
Oh, God. Shame.
They will die wat ek wil uitdodge. Hier staan die ou se braste daar.
Oh, yeah.
It ended in tears.
For you?
It ended in tears.
Oh, my kid, man. Oh, boy, it was. You make me talk about that situation. Maar nee, jy was ook gevangen.
So I don't get it. Was the Nama
I
girl
was caught.
dating the Angolan guy and she could speak
She could speak
Portuguese?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also caught early 90s. Early 90s, a guy came and but she said that they were not dating anymore.
Yeah.
So we came to her place and the guy, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and the guy is there waiting for her. And I was like, ek het net besluit, I'm not going to get into in between the two of you. Praat julle so goed klaar. I came here for
Ek cheap.
one thing. Nee, ek cheap nie.
Well,
Nee, Koffie.
namaste.
Nee, namaste.
Namaste my ass at all.
Nee, ek het besluit, praat julle so goed klaar. The guy was also threatening me. Say, and Neville, I don't ever want to see you again. Not here. I said, hey, my bra,
Nou vandag jy kan die storie.
ek is alright. Maar vandag, I was singing the Gaza song. Ek bly net hier.
But
Jy kry my
you're
hier.
much more intimidating than me. I used to be like this. Ek was so.
You used to be shorter?
I used to be short.
Ja.
Dat was lelijk never. I still dream about
Rofra, so het hulle jou gemoer terwyl jy kaal was, Mitch.
Ik heb nog net 1 pijp aangetrek van die broek.
Sorry, was it?
Ik dodge. Toen vang die jongens me. Oh, I was deleted. I was deleted. And I told him I had fantasies of getting robbed. And I wanted to get robbed also. So it was just part of
En
You
daar
had a
kry jy dit.
fantasy of getting robbed.
I wanted people to rob me.
I worry about you, Mitch.
Yeah, we need to
we need
get
to
more involved to
contribute,
keep him protected.
have a fund, send him to a psych evaluation.
And we'll stop the show.
So I would just like to apologize to all our viewers and listeners out there. as my colleagues don't give me the opportunity to give you the corona cases and also the weather anymore. I don't know why I do this. So I feel neglected.
Kofi, give us the weather quickly.
So the weather in the interior, sunny and hot in the west and also southwest. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated to scattered thunder showers in the Zambezi and the Kavango region.
Sounds like a song.
The coast partly cloudy and cool to warm with the wind moderate to northwesterly to southwesterly. There we have the weather.
Minimum, maximums.
Maximum temperatures, Windhoek 28, Walvis Bay 25, Swakopmund 24, Katima Mulilu 30, then in Umuthia we've got 32, on Dangwa we've got 32, Ochivarongo 30 with Rehoboth at 30, and then Marintal is 34 with Keetmanshoop at 30, Gubabis and Buitenbos both at 32, and those are your maximum temperatures.
Ek gee nie om nie, Kofi. You can tell us also what the coronavirus.
Okay.
If you
so
don't
the
mind.
total new confirmed cases, Corona Namibia 12, recoveries 6. So we're standing at active cases of 2,333. With one death 2 days ago.
One death 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dan wil jy moet reg maar gou hierdie storie van. Dis die tweede dag wat Kofi vir ons so sê.
Ja, nee, hy moet maar net sterk wees.
It's like a forgotten child.
Ja.
Bietjie klim almal in die kar, maar ons los die baba daar in die parking lot.
Ja.
With the windows rolled up.
Yes.
Aye, aye, aye.
Guys, enjoy your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
everybody out
having
there.
having me, guys.
And Zoe,
See
thank you so
tomorrow.
much for coming in.
Awesome.
And see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for your comments, your questions, and your opinions that you've shared on our show today. Not our show, your show. Enjoy your day. Sharp, sharp.
Sharp.
Bugatti, gonna run me like a Bugatti.